All right, so today we're talking more about the coordinate plane, and we're going to dive into a little bit more. So we've learned how to graph on the coordinate plane using the negative numbers. Now we're going to talk about reflecting points across and in the coordinate plane. So first thing we're going to talk about is reflecting in the x-axis. So reflecting in the x-axis means we're either going to cross over it, we're going to cross over the x-axis, or across it. Those are some words that you'll see. So first thing we're going to use the same x coordinate, and then we're just going to change the sign or do the opposite of the y coordinate. So let's show you how that looks. So reflect -2, +4 in the x-axis. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to plot -2, +4. So -2, I move over 1, 2, and then I go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, I do x's first and then y's, just like the alphabet works. Okay, so then after I do that, I'm going to reflect it over the x-axis. So going back to my notes, I have back. It says use the same x and the opposite y. So the same x, which means I'm going to stay right on this -2. Oops. And then I'm going to just flip it across it by doing the opposite of +4. And the opposite of +4 is -4. So let's change that color to show you the difference. So then go down -1, -2, -3, -4. Draw my dot. So this is the reflected point, and the reflected point is -2, -4. So maybe on a test or quiz, it's going to say, like, find the reflected point. And then you're just going to tell me the point of that's there. Or you'll maybe have to graph it. If I give you a point, you'll have to graph the original one like I did, and then you'll have to graph the new point and then tell me what the point value, that new point is, which is right here. Right? So that was the x-axis. Now let's talk about reflecting over the y-axis, or in the y-axis. So it's the same idea. You can go across it, over it, however you want to talk about it. It works. You're going to use the same y-coordinate and take the opposite x-coordinate. So it's basically the same thing as the x, but you're just flipping what we're doing. All right, so we have reflected -3, -1. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to graph it. So where was that blue? Let's graph it in that teal. -3, 1, 2, 3, -1. And now I'm going to reflect it across the y-axis, or in the y-axis. I'm going to keep the y, so it stays -1, and I change the sign, or do the opposite of -3, which is +3. So then I go +3x, so it goes 1. I'm at 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, down 1, and I'm there. My new point is that purple point, and my old point is that blue one. And my new ordered pair is +3, -1. All right, so let's clear off those inks and move on. So now we're going to combine the two together. So we're going to reflect 2, 1 in the x, and then followed by the y. So first step is to start with my original point. Blue. My original point is +2, 1, 2, +1, 1. So that's my original. So that's the original. Okay. So now my next one, we'll go with yellow. Reflect it in the x-axis. So remember the x-axis, we keep the same x and we change the y. So we keep the same x, which means 2. And I change my y to being negative. So I got 2, negative 1. So I go positive 2, 1, 2, down negative 1. So that's the second step over there. So that's in the x-axis. And now I reflect it in the y-axis, which I'm going to change to my purple now. And reflecting in the y-axis is I keep my y and change my x. I take the opposite of positive 2, which is negative 2. So it goes negative 1, 2, and I keep the same y, which is positive 1. Or negative 1, sorry. So it's negative 2, negative 1. There's this note down here that says, note, make sure you're using the new point for the original and not the original for step 3. So some people will say, oh, I did that here. Doesn't mean I have to do it again. Some people would put it over here for their third step. No, we make sure we use the second one where we did the x first because it says x and then followed by y. So we do the x-axis and then we do the y-axis, making sure we stay with that point we're moving. We're moving one point and only one point. We're not trying to change it 6 times. We're not starting over every single time. We're moving it one spot. All right. So, with that being said, it's your turn. You move on and finish the Nearpod, get that stuff done. If you have any questions, reach out. This one might be a little more difficult, but take your time. Make sure you finish the entire video. And if you have any questions, reach out. I'll be more than happy to answer them. All right, enjoy the rest of your day.